The next day we saged the home and took that terrible mattress to the landfill. I've heard of that stuff before, of like being in rooms or on like a specific bed or like a piece of furniture or like something you bring into the home, and then all of a sudden you're getting nightmares. No, ma'am. Okay. Oh, first couple words. I worked in a hospital. Those are not. That's not a good way to start this.
I'm your host, Sarah Baus, and welcome to Attainable Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome back to Attainable Podcast. It is Halloween. Happy Halloween. Halloween's on a Monday, so we actually get to release the episode on Halloween this year, which is really, really fun. And yes, it's the Attainable Podcast Halloween episode. Get ready, get rowdy. Today, we are going to be I'm going to be reading some scary stories. My assistant gathered them, so I have not read them yet. And I told her, I was like, I'm not good. Like, I'm not good with scary. I'm not good with paranormal. I wanted to hear something, but I wanted to hear some things that were like kind of like true stories or things that have happened to other people. I don't know what to expect. I'm quite nervous. I am filming this at night, partly because of just how my schedule rolled. And then also, I feel like it's spooky vibes. However, if you are watching the video, that is why the video quality probably isn't the best, because our lighting is shat. But anyway, so happy Halloween. I hope you guys had a lovely Halloween weekend. I hope that it was filled with fun. If you went out, power to ya. I hope that hangover was not atrocious. I did go out for Halloween weekend. Actually, I'm recording this the night before. Hence why the schedule lined up, and I'm recording literally. This is going to be released tomorrow morning. So just kind of how the dice rolled. Halloween weekend was good. If you saw my Instagram, I did 2 costumes this year. I was Britney Spears from the Oops, I Did It Again, I believe, video for one of our Halloween parties, and then my work party. And then I was like Woody, and my friend was Buzz when we went out on the town. We went to Columbia, went to the USC game. If you're a USC fan, that's scary enough. So it was a super fun weekend though. However, oh my God, last night I stayed up till 3:30 in the morning. No, not partying. I was sober as a freaking cucumber. But we just kind of got home, and then I had to take my friends home and make sure they got home safely. And then they also wanted cookout, so I had to go to cookout. Got $41 worth of cookout at 2 a.m. And then I had to take a shower because part of my costume, like I rubbed the Dibs Beauty status stick in like Good Life Gold all over my legs, and then I put Eucerin and like rubbed it in with like Eucerin lotion. Honestly, iconic. You want your legs to look stunning, that's the deal. It is awesome. Plus Dibs, the status stick smells like vanilla, like a vanilla cookie, and like not in a sickly way, like in a nice way. So anyways, did that, and I needed to get that off before I hopped in bed. So I had to take a shower. So 3:30 in the morning, I want to go to bed. I am sufficiently tired. We also just got our Halloween candy that we're going to be passing out tomorrow to the neighborhood kids. We last year established ourselves, and this year we are again trying to establish ourselves as the house with the like dual income, no kids, cool people. That's what we want to be, because our entire street filled with children, like so many kids. It's a very like family friendly neighborhood, and they run in like little packets, like the Sandlot. It's so cute. They're outside every single day, and honestly, I love it. Like I like the sound of them like playing. Sometimes it will be kind of funny. We have some young ones that will sometimes like run into our backyard, which we just told their mom, we're like, hey, we're totally fine with it, but just so you know, in case something happens, they run into our backyard, we don't know about it unless we see them out the window. For safety, you should know that. But it is really cute. They literally just run all over the place. And the little girl that lives next to us, I believe it seems to be, she's like a leader of that pack. So we let her know. We're like, hey, like we've got, this is how we're establishing that. We're the giant candy bar house. Last year we were the giant candy bar house. This year we're the giant candy bar house. We bought 150 candy bars, like large candy bars of all different things. We got the big packs of M&Ms, we got Twix, we got Snickers, like all those things. So I hope that they are ecstatic. I was also going to go to the dollar store and get little toys, or like bouncy balls or something to put in there because I don't like chocolate. I hate chocolate and then I don't like candy. So, like I'll eat candy sometimes. No, that's not a lot. That's a lot. Like I don't eat it if I don't have to, but like it's not something I detest. I detest chocolate. Anyway, so Halloween was never like that. That wasn't what Halloween was about for me. I like to dress up and then I like to nosily look into people's houses when they open the door and see what their decor looked like. It was not for the candy. I would go home and give the candy to my parents and they could like have their field day or whatever with that. So lucky them. Candy was never it for me. So I was like, oh, like this will be great. Like, how fun would it be to have toys? Like, I thought that would be like level up. Like, wow, this house is like premium. Like, they have little toys in the thing. And then both Joseph and my mom were like, no, that's weird. Like, I feel like as a kid, like I would look at that and be like, weird. So, if you have a child in your life that would have an opinion on this, would love their hot take. Would that make us a cool house or no? I decided against it because I did not want, 50 bouncy balls left in the thing. But I thought it would be cool. But yeah, when one Halloween, so when I say I would just go to look at people's decor. I'm not kidding. I loved looking at people's houses. I loved looking at their decor. And one year, like I was little though. I was like 5 or something, but old enough where my parents could like stand at the curb and I could walk up to the door by myself, like the independent girly that I was. So they're at the curb. I walk up and I like looked in. They, open the door, trick or treat, make me candy, thank you. I was like, oh my gosh, you have such nice curtains. And it's this older man, like this big older man. He's like, oh, thank you. And I was like, can I come in? Can I come in and see them? And the guy was like, sure. So from the curb, my parents don't know what's going on. They just see this old man letting me at 5 years old into the door and closing the door. So of course they freak out. They bust up in the door and I'm just like, mommy, look at these curtains. It's so nice. And he's like, she wanted to look at the curtains. I don't know. One, home dog. Definitely should have like flagged parental units, be like, your kid's trying to get into my house. But I don't know what state of mind he was in. That's also one of my favorite stories. So I was really just there for the curtains. Anyways, let's get into these stories. I'm really hoping that doing this at night was not like an atrocious thought. Okay, here we go. So these are kind of like longer stories too. So here we are. So I'm in my late 30s and I grew up without social media. So I was never exactly a skeptic. About like paranormal and stuff like that. I just never really thought about stuff like this. Okay. I also don't really believe in the paranormal. So I'm kind of like, I am a skeptic. Anyway, when I was 28, I lived in an apartment complex with my fiance and 3-year-old kid for a year. We were a few days away from moving back in with fiance's parents to save money for a house. Fiance was at work and I had put our 3-year-old to sleep and closed her door maybe a half hour before and was walking around organizing the stuff that was left to pack. I very clearly heard a child laughing. I'm like, look, oh God, I should have like closed the blinds. It's dark outside. I hate this. It didn't sound like our daughter and it didn't sound muffled, but I opened her door to check on her and she was sound asleep. I shut her door and felt very nervous. I knew what I heard and it sounded like a child had been right next to me laughing. Oh, parentheses, I don't drink, do drugs, or take medication if that helps. I called my fiance since he was driving home at that time and told him what happened. And he said maybe it was one of the neighbors. They just had a baby. I said, no, I heard it clearly and it was a child, not a baby. My husband sighed and said there's a spirit of a child that stays in the halls. What? Okay. Also in parentheses, he quote sees stuff, but didn't really talk to me or anyone else about it. So I guess the husband like sees things and like knew about this child. Okay. So of course I was freaked out and told him he sees ghosts and was going to let me renew our lease. LOL. Then he told me there is also a really, really tall man whose head touches the ceiling. And I had a flashback to about 6 months prior when my husband was at work. So I was cuddling in my bed with my daughter before bringing her to her room. And she pointed to the corner and said, there's a man on the ceiling. which scared me, but I told her, don't be silly, change the subject, put her to bed, and never told my husband about it because it didn't cross my mind to tell him. Other stuff has happened since then, but that was an interesting night. I made him stay on the phone with me until he got home. Oh, for sure. I feel like that was a good warm up. Like that wasn't that bad. I'm wondering if she really went easy. If you are like one that like loves scary stories, I bet this is not going to be the episode for you. But if you want to get in the Halloween spirit and you're not wanting to like shit your pants, this is it. This is it. That wasn't so bad. However, I've never had any like, I guess, encounters with ghosts or like something like that. I guess paranormal, like that word, I feel like that sounds like scary and like weird things. I'm like, okay, like spirit of other people. I'm like, I can get behind that, like, I don't know, almost like, if your family member dies, their spirit is still with you type of thing. But the haunting of a house, I don't know. Like I've heard it enough. I feel like it has to be a thing, but I don't know what side I am on. I think there's enough evidence to say like, okay, haunting is like a thing. Now the extent of a ghost, I don't know. Anyway, okay. Next one. When I was 14 or 15 years old in high school, my family was quite poor and I didn't have a bed, so I slept on an old chair. My school acquaintance said that her family was getting rid of a bed and that I could take it if I wanted, and I accepted her offer. That's kind. I got the bed a few days later and set it up in my room. Why are you doing this like by yourself? Like you're just like making deals and bringing a bed into your home? Okay. I was excited to sleep on a real bed after years of sleeping on a chair. I'm not sure how many times I slept on it before returning to the chair, but it couldn't have been more than 5. I was experiencing insane nightmares and a really strange sense that I could see the darkness move when I woke up. I had a dream the night before that someone was mumbling something. Mumbling something to me that I couldn't understand, and sliding fingers down my back. And when I woke up, I heard the same talking, super fast, odd guttural noises like an inch from my ear. Oh, I hate this. Oh, I should have had Joseph stay downstairs. I panicked out. That's okay. So I panicked and left my room for the night. I was sleeping on the couch in my living room when my mother came out and inquired as to what had occurred. I kept it a secret because I didn't want her to think I was insane. I did not understand that. I would blab. I'm a blabber. I don't understand when people say like, "Oh, I kept it a secret." I will open my mouth and tell you everything. After about a week or two, my grandparents arrived in town. My mother decided that they could sleep in her bed while she slept in mine because I had returned to sleeping on the chair. I told her no the first night. She woke me up and asked if I was talking to her. Oh, okay. So mom like woke her up, asked if she was talking to her. She said no. The second night, she woke me up frantically and told me that she heard someone whispering in another language in her ear and that we needed to leave the house right away. I explained to her that I thought the bed was haunted. She was upset that I hadn't told her before she slept on it and that I didn't want her to send me. And that I didn't want her to send me to a mental. She was send me to a mental ward. I'm guessing like she told her that I didn't tell you because I didn't want you to send me to a mental ward. I don't know. The next day we saged the home and took that terrible mattress to the landfill. I've heard of that stuff before, of like being in rooms or on like a specific bed or like a piece of furniture or like something you bring into the home and then all of a sudden you're getting nightmares. Okay, the more like I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I believe these stories. Like I don't think you're lying. So that must mean I believe that that's a thing, I guess. No, ma'am. Okay. Oh, first couple words. I worked in a hospital. Those are not. That's not a good way to start this at all. Okay. I worked in a hospital for 20 years that had 6. Oh man, why did I do this? I know myself. I know like how sensitive I am. But I'm a bad bitch. It's good. I watched Stranger Things. That was difficult, and I have to watch it with Joseph and in daylight. But I did. I got through it. It's good. We're fine. It's good. Okay. I worked in a hospital for 20 years that had 6 main elevators. How do you have 6 main elevators? I feel like if it's a main elevator, it can only be one, whatever. I'd have to visit patients for paperwork at night, so I was constantly going from my office to the various 8 floors. At night, and only at night, one of the 6 elevators would constantly stop at the 3rd floor of offices despite nobody being around to press the button on that floor or in the elevator. The hallway lights on the 3rd were motion activated, so the elevator doors would open to reveal darkness. I learned to never take that elevator. If it was the only elevator available when I needed it, I'd jump in, press the top floor, and get off before the doors closed. Then I'd watch the counter screen above it go up, but it would stop on the 3rd. That's creepy. Oh, if the elevator doors opened up to darkness, I would panic. I would straight panic. No. I also am wondering if I would panic more if the lights turned on, like by themselves. Oh, next one is a long one. Okay. All right. Buckle up. For the past 2 weeks, my family and I have been traveling around various countries in Europe. Oh, so this is recent. Unfortunately, we had our passport stolen in Belgium and had to make a couple last-minute changes to our plans, one of which included booking a hotel in a new city for one night. We stopped just for the night between trains in Cologne, Germany. I helped my parents find the last-minute reservation online, and it was a pretty standard apartment-style rental. When we arrived at the rental, we were all impressed by the views of the nearby cathedral and church spires, the shingled roofs, just the general feel of the history that the whole town had. We went out for dinner and came back after dark, all heading to bed for our early train the next morning. I shared a room with my little brother and this is long because she gives so many details, he or she. I shared a room with my little brother and my parents slept in the next room over. I remember asking them if we could swap rooms because I didn't like the layout of ours. There was too many doors for me to feel comfortable. That's kind of weird. I have a weird thing where I don't like sleeping near doors and I can't sleep in a room with any doors left open. Okay, it's a weird thing and it's you. Okay. Anyways, they said no, we could just stay in the original room, which had doors to the kitchen, hallway, and 2 closets. What? Hold on. This was a hotel, but it had a kitchen, a hallway, and 2 closets? Goodness. Okay. I was too tired to push it, and I figured my fatigue would override my personal habits, so I just got ready for bed and tried to go to sleep. While I was sleeping, I remember having some cycles of regular dreams. Then all of a sudden, I woke up within another dream. I was lying in the same bed in the exact same room, and my little brother was lying in the same bed too. It felt exactly like if I had just woken up normally. Now, I have very vivid dreams sometimes, but I never dream about being in the exact room I'm in, and I never wake up to a dream within a dream. In this dream, I was sitting up in bed, and so was my brother. I could feel that for some reason we were both really scared, and there was this charged and anxious feeling in the room. I remember my little brother saying, "What is that? Get out your flashlight." At the same time, we were both, oh God. Okay, keep going. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Every time, like, if for those listening, I'm like, oh God, and then I like look around me to make sure like we're good. Okay. At the same time, we were both looking at the far end of the room where it was darker and away from the windows. It was like we were both too scared to speak, but I could feel that we were both sensing whatever dark energy was at the end of the room. I started to fumble for my phone flashlight just for some light when all of a sudden this thing, the closest I can describe it as a dark blob of energy. In my mind, I'm going to think of it as jelly. To not scare me. Moved super quickly over next to my side of the bed and my brother, and I screamed at the same time as this thing rushed up next to me. That's exactly when I woke up for real around 2:30 a.m. My heart was racing and I was sweating so hard despite the room not being hot. I was so unsettled that I turned on all the lights in the room and didn't sleep for about 2 more hours until I could finally somewhat relax and drifted back to sleep. Did you turn on the lights? Did your brother wake up when you turned on the lights? Or was he just unfazed? This experience was very disturbing for me. I never wake up early in the morning for no reason, as I usually sleep through the night and rarely, if ever, have nightmares. Now I'm wondering if anyone can comment on a phenomenon like this. Can people have paranormal encounters in their sleep? For sure, while in certain spaces. Yeah. Was I just having a vivid dream, or was that experience a signal that there was something in that space? Oh, that's a good point. I guess you'd have to like see if that occurred often, or if you just had a bad night, ate some bad fish or something. There's something that I had never heard about, but I heard on a podcast, Devil's Hour. I've never really I had never heard of Devil's Hour before that, but I think it's at 3 a.m. And they talk about like when you wake up and you look at the clock and it's 3 a.m. and you're like, oh my God, I have to go back to sleep like right now. That's going to be a hard no from moi. Nope. Okay. Oof. I do not like that. Joseph has talked before about, what are they called? Is it lucid dreams? No. Being frozen, coma, sleep paralysis. That's it. What's a lucid dream? I don't know. Sleep paralysis. And he's talked about like waking up, but you're dreaming, but your eyes are open. And he will like see this like spider creature like on the ceiling, and it will like scurry on the ceiling and then like look down at him and then start coming down at him. And he like, you like can't move, can't breathe, can't talk. Like if that happened to me, end it. I would be like, I gotta go. I'm gone. I no longer want to be here. I would like to go somewhere else. That would freak me out. I could literally never. That's never happened to me, and I hope it never will, knock on wood. Okay. How many stories? Okay, we've got one more long one and then a short one. Love it. Okay. I feel like we're flying by. This is great. Myself and two friends went to the hair show in whoa. That was a lot of shushes. Hold on. Myself and two friends went to the hair show in Chicago in 2014. We booked a room at the Congress Plaza Hotel because it was affordable and close to the show. We checked in, dropped off our things, then went to the show all day. Oh, because it's a hair show. When we were done with the show, we decided to have dinner at the restaurant in the hotel. We sat at the bar and saw a group of people being led around the lobby area. It looked like a tour, so we asked the bartender what they were doing. She said, oh, that's one of the haunted Chicago tours. We said, wait, why are we here? LOL, we had no idea it was known to be haunted until she told us it was. We asked if she had ever had any experiences, and she said, I haven't worked here for a very long time, but coworkers in the kitchen have told me about cabinet doors flying open by themselves without explanation. One of my friends was so spooked about this hotel being haunted, she stopped the conversation with the bartender and begged us not to look online for any stories about it until we were on our way home. So we didn't. That night, the same friend that was scared shared a bed with me. Our other friend had a bed to herself because she had recently had a baby and needed to get up at night to pump. Okay, that's like details like I don't know, but okay. While I was sleeping, I had a very, very vivid, it's the dreams, man. It's the dreams. I had a very, very vivid dream about a group of elementary age kids lined up in the hallway outside of our room. These kids were wearing clothes they would have worn, and that I'm having to do another look around to make sure that I'm not going to get murdered. Would have worn in the 1930s and 40s. The boys were in suspenders wearing nice hats and the girls in dresses. That's all the dream was. The kids had lined up outside our door. During this quick dream, my friend woke me up and said, do you hear that? And I said, hear what? She said, I keep hearing kids laughing. It's like they're right above us. Not on the next floor, but right above our heads in this room. She was already nervous, so I didn't tell her about my dream until morning. We fell back asleep. Because this was around 3 a.m. or so. Okay, look at that, devil's hour. As soon as I fell asleep, I had another quick, vivid dream of what I thought was a nurse from the same time period standing at the end of my other friend's bed, just watching her. Nope, that's going to be a hard no for me, literally. I think we should try something different for Halloween. I think that, everybody does scary stories. We should do something different. We should read about, happy miracles or something. Just change it up a little bit. She was wearing a black and white dress with a hat, and then I immediately woke up again and didn't fall back asleep this time. On our way home, I anxiously looked online for stories around the hotel. To my surprise, I found multiple stories about guests seeing a maid wearing black and white in the middle of the night. This made me think my mind automatically went to nurse because my friend had recently had a baby, but maybe I was actually seeing the notorious maid. There are also multiple stories of kids haunting the hotel. I'm actually glad my friend wouldn't let us look into these stories until we left. Had we seen the stories before our experiences, I may have chalked it up to our minds reenacting the stories we read, but we had no prior knowledge of these specific stories. I did return to Why would you return to the hotel? I did return to the hotel in 2019 when I went with a group to see the Rolling Stones. They didn't know about the hauntings until I told them when they said where we would be staying. This group was really excited and wanted to have paranormal experiences, but nothing happened during that stay. LOL. That's my story. I'd love to hear more from others. Okay, so that sounds kind of inconsistent. However, I don't care if you want paranormal. If you want paranormal activities, then we're not friends. I don't think. I'm not going with you. No, hard pass. I would never go back to a place that I had had the dreams. You read about it. Like, are you okay? Hard no. All right, last one. This is a quick one. When I worked at a convenience store, we had an older man, mid to late 50s, who was a creepy pain in the ass, but he would show up without fail twice a day, in the morning for coffee and in the evening to buy a scratch ticket and rent an older DVD. Small town, so he went to the grocery store and post office about daily as well. One day he didn't show up, so I got a bit worried. Second day, I tried asking a couple employees from the other stores about him, and they were all relieved he wasn't around. Day 4, I asked his landlord, and she laughed about how I should enjoy the break. Day 5, they found him dead on his floor. He had a heart attack. That's not a scary story. That's just sad. What a weird way to end it. That's not a scary story. That just sucks. I mean, clearly, like, he was, if you all like knew of him, and he was a jerk, but he's an old grumpy man. Poor thing had a heart attack. But we deserve, you guys, not me. I deserve to not be reading these stories. I realize this was my idea. It's not lost on me. You guys deserve to end this on a better story. Here we go. Okay, this is called It Wasn't a Little Girl. Hate that. I'd also started with I was camping. Hate that. Okay. I was camping with my husband and his family at a small remote lake in New Mexico. You know what I don't do? Camp. There were about 10. Oh, P.S. That was me. She didn't say that. There was about 10 people here in our group, and another group of 6 people in the next campsite. It was nighttime, and both groups were doing typical activities, making s'mores, having a few drinks, and telling stories, when we all heard what sounded like a little girl yelling out for help. Neither group had children with them, but we were all positive we were hearing a little girl and decided to search the area we heard the noises from together. Exactly, together. You go to places together. There was a field behind our campsites, and we all saw a very tall, pure. This is where I'm looking around again. I can't do. Oh, fuck this. I hate this. Oh, I hate windows. We all saw a very tall, pure white figure standing maybe 100 feet away from us in the field, making the noises. We all agreed this thing looked maybe 6 feet tall, skinny, and white as can be. We made our way closer. Okay. Rude. We made our way closer to investigate, but whatever it was that we saw started backing off as we got closer, and it disappeared into the trees. All night we continued to hear a little girl calling for help as we tried to sleep. Fork that. How many times does that happen?
Like in general? I don't know. I usually get like 1 or 2 a year.
It's sleep paralysis, right?
Yeah, I get like sleep paralysis.
And is it the same creature every time?
No, it's always different.
Oh, okay. So I'm just thinking of the one time that you were talking about in the hotel with the
like the backwards person, basically.
Okay, yeah. No, I need you to explain, because I said like a spidery looking person.
Yeah, so like imagine a person like on all fours, like on the ceiling, but their neck is like twisted 180 degrees around. So like their back is facing me, but their head is also facing me as they like crawl on the ceiling.
Was it like a human form? Like, did they have clothes on? Were they wearing jeans? Like,
no,
it was just kind of a human.
Yeah, it was humanoid, I guess. But like it was like gray.
No.
Yeah.
Did it have a face?
Yeah.
Like, did it have eyes?
Like, yeah, like it reminds me of like a character I've seen, almost like real gray face, but like real bloodshot eyes.
Oh god. Okay.
And like it like crawled along the ceiling towards me and like got down like right on top of me. And I was like yelling for help, and it was like, no one can help you now.
It talked?
Yeah.
And
then like it disappeared, but I still couldn't move for a couple minutes. So that was fun. And then I like fully woke up. But I was in a hotel in Florida by myself for work.
Yeah. Absolutely not.
I slept with all the lights on.
Yeah.
For the
I
night.
don't. I feel like I would have gone downstairs and be like, "Hey, front desk guy, we're gonna chit chat for a little bit," because that was atrocious.
Yeah, that's probably been like the craziest one I've had
Really?
recently. Yeah.
But is sleep paralysis the same as a lucid dream?
No.
It's not. Do you know what a lucid? Do you
Yeah,
know?
like a lucid dream is like when you can control your dream.
Oh. Oh, that's better then.
Yeah, because like you realize you're dreaming.
Yeah.
And then like but you stay asleep and like, but you're like lucid enough to be able to like change things in your dream.
I'd be like, I want pizza now.
Sleep paralysis is when like your eyes are open and like part of your brain is awake, but like your motor functions aren't awake. So like you're basically just stuck inside your own body,
Absolutely not.
but like you're still dreaming.
Mm.
And like I don't know if this is the case for everyone, but like most of the time sleep paralysis is like nightmares. You don't have like happy sleep paralysis.
Love that.
But like mine a lot of times is like because like I can wake myself up from a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like if I'm having a night, like if I realize that like I'm having a nightmare, like I'll wake myself up.
Yeah,
because,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't want to
You've
continue
said
to
that
have a
before.
nightmare.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like I don't wake myself up fully, and it's like, congrats, now you're in sleep paralysis.
Oh, and you like trigger it.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
But I think that's the last one I had, and that was over a year ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know if you have a trigger for it? I can't remember.
I don't think so. I mean, most of the time, like it's when I try to wake myself up from a nightmare. Sorry.
You're good.
And like for some reason for me, it's always when I'm on my back. Because like I never sleep on my back.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know if that's necessarily like a trigger or that's just like how it has been.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I had like for a while there, like a long time ago, I was having like reoccurring sleep paralysis like once a month. And like this guy would be like running in like zigzag patterns like towards me with like 2 ice picks in his hand.
you've told me about this one.
Yeah. And like, but like as soon as like he would get within like ice picking distance, like my sleep paralysis would go away and like I would fully wake up. And
Pissing yourself?
and well, like eventually, like the first couple times, I was like, "Well, that's fucking scary." And then, like by the end of it, I was like, "Fuck!" Like,
like, you again?
Ice pick man, please.
This guy again. Find another hobby.
Yeah, I'm like, at least do something different.
Absolutely not.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I've ever woken up like where you've noticed, but I've told you this before. I've woken up before, and I sleep on my side. Chris, you know this, but I sleep on my side, and a couple times I've woken up on my back, pinned straight, like feet are together, completely straight, with my hands in a prayer pose on my chest, and just laying almost like in a coffin.
Yeah.
And every time I wake up like that, I'm like, oh no. I don't remember if I have any dreams or anything, but
you've woken me up a couple times when I've been like yelling in my sleep.
Yeah, you've yelled in your sleep. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I gotta. Also, you're not supposed to wake somebody up from sleep paralysis, right?
No, you are.
Oh, you are.
Well, I mean, like you're not supposed to, like it's not like a good or a bad thing. It's just like, hey, if you're next to someone who's having sleep paralysis, wake them up so they get out of sleep paralysis.
Is there something that you're not supposed to wake somebody up from?
Sleepwalking. You're not supposed to wake people
Sleepwalking. Yes, that's right.
Mostly because like they'll just hurt themselves.
Yeah.
Because like usually you'll just collapse.
Yeah.
Because like you'll go from whatever motor function that's keeping you like sleepwalking.
Yeah.
Like resets when you wake up and then you just crumple and it's like
yeah.
Because like my mom did that to me one time. I was sleepwalking. Well, like, and this was like back in high school. So like she thought I was like sneaking upstairs to play video games. And like she was talking to me, but then like she walked up the stairs and like my eyes were open, but they had rolled back into my head. And
I would have freaked out.
She like grabbed me and like by the shoulders, like hey, wake up, like what's going on? And then I just ate shit down the stairs. And I was like, thanks. Appreciate that.
Just fall down the stairs.
Yeah.
One time, Uncle Brian I think it was Brian. Nope, I don't think it was Brian. Maybe it was Nana, because Nana sleepwalked as well. Somebody in the family had sleepwalked and got like all the way down the road. And I think Nanny found whoever it was. So Brian is Nanny's son, my grandmother, and then Nana is her mom. So at either one of those. But yeah, she was like trying to find, we'll just say it was Brian, trying to find him, and like looked out the window, and he was like halfway down the road.
That's crazy.
Goodbye. He said, I gotta go. I hate it here.
I would have been pissed if I would have woke up and I was like in the middle of the street. I'm like, oh man.
That's terrifying. Like, if somebody's like a chronic sleepwalker, that's got to be so scary.
I wonder if you like strap them down to your bed.
I think that I've heard that people will put like bells on the door or like lock it. But yeah, I feel like you shouldn't lock somebody in a room. That's not good.
I feel like you can also just like unlock the door if you're sleepwalking.
Well, if you lock it, I'm saying you have to lock it from the outside. And I'm saying that's not good. Like that's
like terrifying.
Yeah,
I would
scared, freak out.
Yeah,
I would not be okay. But
like
yeah,
tie themselves like to the bed. I think that's funny. Like put like an anklet on.
They try to get up. Oof.
Yeah, just like eat shit.
I don't know. Anyways, you're gonna do the outro with me because I can't.
Did those actually scare you?
Yeah. I
feel like I need to introduce you to like horror.
Oh, absolutely not. I couldn't. Oh, I mean, because
like I read all those and I was like, there's maybe like a 2 out of 10 scary in there.
I know they're not that scary. It's just that like, maybe people like the feeling of like. Your hair is kind of going all every which way. Maybe people like that feeling of like on edge, like, oh, somebody's gonna come back behind me. Like even like a little, I hate that feeling. And the thing is, like, when I get that feeling deposited in me, which is what happens when you read anything scary, like then it grows on its own and everything around me makes me jumpy. And like of course it's night. Like I'm looking out the windows right now, looking at pitch black. Absolutely not. I can see, like my mind will be like, oh, you want to be scared?
How much would I have to pay you to watch Event Horizon?
You've said that is the scariest movie you've ever seen.
Yeah, I think so.
I'd say Divorce.
Grave Encounters was pretty scary.
I'd say Divorce.
I'd have to pay you a divorce.
Yeah. Because
what about like something easier? Like what about what if we did like Hill House?
I've heard Hill House is hold on. I did Children of the Corn with you.
That's not scary. That's suspenseful.
I hated it. I also did what was that?
The Shining.
The Shining.
Also not really scary. Like
if those aren't true horror movies, then I can't.
Yeah.
I'm thinking if it makes you scared, I would be crying. I don't want to go into something knowing I'll bawl my eyes out and then be terrified.
Well, I think Event Horizon would be like a little steep to start you on.
A little steep?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like a good like intro.
Like the people who watch horror movies for comfort, like it's like, ooh.
Yeah,
like,
I don't get that.
That.
Like you're a psychopath.
Yeah, you should talk to someone.
Yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I watch scary movies to be scared. Like that's sort of the fun of it.
Do you leave the scary movie like feeling like jumpy?
Like watch it. Like if I'm by myself, like watching a scary movie,
you'll get jumpy.
Yeah, or like especially like going up the stairs when the I hate that. But I don't know.
And you learned your lesson. You don't scare me when I'm jumpy.
I don't scare you ever.
No, I know. The one time you did.
When you were in the shower?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
But like last week, I like came home and I scared you and you cried, so.
What? Oh, I saw something flickering in the window. It's the candle. That's terrifying though, right? Do you see it?
No. It's very clearly a candle.
Oh, okay.
It was like 2 weeks ago. And like.
Oh, yeah. You did. What was I doing? I was in the bedroom.
Yeah, you were laying on the floor.
Per usual.
And I was like, hey, I don't want to scare you.
Yeah.
And that scared you.
I screamed. Yeah. Well, usually you're really easy to hear. like not that you slam the door, but like, you know, I hear the back door and I hear you walking up the stairs. I didn't do anything. Atrocious. Anyways, well, guys, I hope that this was entertaining. I hope you're not too scared. And I hope you have a very happy Halloween. Do you have anything to say? No.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. And have a fantastic week. I love you guys so much. Do not be terrified. I hope that you have a scare-free Halloween. Love ya, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.